because your parents are married, it always makes me wonder what your parents' dynamic is like. Now, from watching your interviews and seeing you speak, I've seen that they have a very healthy dynamic. And I think they were actually very intentional with you as far as showing you kind of how this can be.
Yeah.
And I think that informs how you speak, because when I'm watching, I'm like, you kind of have to speak about this from a healed perspective, because a lot of people cannot do that. They're like, they've been hurt and they're like, I'm still hurting. I'm bashing now. You know what I mean?
To an extent, I agree with that. I think that you also can have negative experience and still speak to healthier stuff based on what you haven't seen too, right? But I'll say I'm fortunate from a standpoint that my parents this year are going to celebrate 42 years of marriage, right? So I've seen that healthy dynamic, but
it was like also there before you were even here.
It was there.
Exactly.
And my parents were very intentional. Like, I just had a conversation with my dad yesterday. He was like, we waited 11 years after getting married to have you. Like, the act of having you was an intentional act to make sure that like you're ready and you're prepared and we're ready for you and we could provide, and et cetera, et cetera. But also in my upbringing though, I've also been in environments where I've seen like unhealthy relationships. I've also seen unhealthy relationships. Like, one of the ones that I always think about is like one of my cousin's dynamics, right? I've seen it go from like this absolutely toxic place all the way to a healthy relationship, right? So I've seen both sides. And I think people think of healthy relationships often as this idea of perfection. Like, it fits into this box. But the ways in which relationships are healthy are not by this general umbrella of perfection, but it's in the decision making and how you're feeling in the decision making of making this relationship work. Mm-hmm. Did you handle this from a place of, I'm not scared to talk to you. Like, I know I can, this is a hard conversation, but there's a level of ease knowing that I can bring this up to you and you're not going to react in some way. Those are the elements that make things healthy. Am I honoring you? Do I recognize what you need and what you want? And am I showing up for you? Am I planning dates that speak to you? Am I being intentional in the ways that I'm loving you and I'm listening to you and hearing you? Like, it's the act that makes something healthy, or it's what makes it toxic. I think a lot of people throw healthy and it's like, it's perfect. It's like, nah, my parents argued. My parents definitely had fights. You know what I mean? So when it comes to like just the dynamic of understanding that, I think I've benefited from seeing that, but also seeing like, oh, so this is what it's like if we have an argument and I'm cussing you out and you're cussing me out and we're not even getting to the root of the problem, because I'm sitting there in the room watching like, oh, wow, dang. Like, yeah, this doesn't feel like this is good.
And it's interesting because I think both of them, and correct me if I'm wrong, both of them inform why you seem to be so intentional.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Because you've also...
For better and for worse, too, right? And it goes, again, to my own personal decision-making. Because, again, I've seen healthy. I've also seen very toxic. Right? But I think I didn't give myself nuance. So when I was first evaluating relationships or partners, in my mind, it was like, it's either toxic or it's either healthy. Like, that's how I saw it. And that's, I think, where a lot of people struggle with, is this or that. There's a gray area. And that gray area you have to create for yourself, and you have to collaborate with somebody else to navigate that gray area in order to get it on this side of the scale, or if you want to stay on that side of the scale. So like, there were times where I would like somebody, right? And we would have one argument and I'd be like, oh no, I'm done.
Yeah, you're cooked.
Yeah, you're cooked. This isn't healthy. You know what I mean? Like, this is not, I don't like this.
And see, I've struggled with something like that before, because there have been times where like I might be in a relationship and it's healthy and it ended, right? Like, I thought it was healthy. There wasn't many arguments and it ended because I know for some people, they are more used to a little more chaos. It's like, this, I don't like this. Like, this feels too good. Like, something is wrong. Something's up. It's like, no. Yeah. We're fine. You know what I mean? And it's just interesting when you hear that, because some people, they love that. They love the hustle. They love the back and forth. They love that, right? The struggle of it.
They don't love it.
They're familiar with it.
They're familiar with it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. And that's what makes it so hard. It's like, some people, we convince ourselves, we tell ourselves we love that, but that's not love.
Right.
We are not putting that into the box. That is not love.
Correct.
That is familiarity. And you are familiar with it. You are so used to that pattern that you feel like you know how to navigate it because you're so used to it. But it's not what you're used to. And the unfamiliar now becomes terrifying. Like you're not gonna cuss me out. You're not gonna raise your voice. Like we're not gonna. Ooh, I'm not used to that. Or moments where it's like you're so used to the unpredictability of your partner, the hot and cold, that when you get a consistent, it's like, this is boring. What do you mean? Like this is not erratic. There's no energy. I'm not high. Because a lot of the emotions in which like a toxic relation will get you is high energy. You're always on edge. You're always wondering. When you get that peace where it's like, dang, I don't have to worry. Like you went out and there's no problem with that. For people who've never experienced that, that's terrifying. And I've had to learn how to create space for that in my own dating world because I dealt with somebody who is like, you scared me. You
scared them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you scared me. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you were doing everything right, and I've never seen that before.
It's really...
In my head, though,
it's really
I'm
crazy.
sitting here, I'm overthinking. I'm like, dang, am I doing too much?
Yeah.
Dang, does she like me? Like, I'm over here worried because of my own internal processing of like navigating getting close to somebody. And like, oh man, I don't know. Am I doing too much? But for her, it was the opposite. And I think that's the complexity of a relationship is that there's three parties in it.
Yep.
It's you.
It's them.
It's them. And it's the relationship.
Yep.
And that's what makes it really difficult.
You're very consistent. I've seen this in your writing too. I've seen this. Because like I think that's one of the most interesting things that you can learn about relationships is how peace can scare some people. But then it's also sad on the other hand because it's like, peace scares you. That means you're not used to this. And what you are used to is where you're familiar, and that's where you would probably want to stay, which is always weird and even scary because it's like, this is peaceful and likely healthy for you, but that's not where you want to be because it's not familiar.
Yeah.
And it's like, what isn't familiar could be good for you, but you have to, let it and also you have to at least try.
Yeah.
You have to at least try. Wow. Okay, we have talked about a lot.
I do have a question for you. Something we haven't talked about.
Okay.
Or we might have. I'm just not sure.